we are going to present you our proposal, Linking Baruta, Communities Integration through Green Centralities and Urban Networks. Baruta Municipality is located in Miranda State, Venezuela, and it forms part of the Green Belt, Caracas Protector Ring, which protects biological diversity and controls the city growth. But it also produces a high fragmentation in the urban form due to its irregular topography. Baruta itself has a vast presence of water streams and a topography with quite steep slopes that has shaped the site into isolated urban islands with huge limitations for urban interventions, leading to insufficient public spaces too distant to generate integration, and also the presence of a single access road that tends to collapse. But these natural features do not bring only problems. They provide breathtaking landscapes full of biodiversity and ecological resources. So, understanding Baruta as a group of urban islands surrounded by nature, how can we link it on a local scale? The streams and all the green spaces form part of the identity of the place, influencing its inhabitants' daily life. So a strong bond can be produced between nature and communities to promote a controlled growth, where balance and harmony work together to try to improve life quality while the ecological resources are protected. Having this in mind, we were able to identify an opportunity for nature to become an integrator through a relation of empty and filling, where the void is nature itself, articulating different spaces that emerge as a result of the desire to connect the full, which are the urbanized fragments. After analyzing the area, we set as goals: protect important green areas and its ecosystem, connect physically separated urban islands, integrate communities through public spaces, lead future growth. Having this in mind, we were able to identify an opportunity for nature to become an integrator through a relation of empty and filling, where the void is nature itself, articulating different spaces that emerge as a result of the desire to connect the full, which are the urbanized fragments. On the first stage, considering the poor existing accessibility to the zone and the inefficient transportation services, we propose to reinforce and improve the road system through interventions to connect existing roads, to lighten the main road load, and we also considered conditioning bus stops to make current public transportation more comfortable and efficient. As well, we thought of wooden public transportation alternative through a system of funiculars, having more sensibility and a harmonic relation with the natural environment and taking advantage of the beautiful views that Baruta can offer. For the second stage, taking into consideration the lack of public spaces that hinders communities' integration and the disconnected pedestrian infrastructure, we propose some attractor corridors, creating new pedestrian-friendly spaces that interconnect the existing sidewalks and new strategic equipped spots. These spots will be located in strategic zones, hosting multipurpose uses that also allows integration and exchange between different communities and economic activity boost, generating what we call new centralities. For example, to the north, we identified this used zone that has potential for connecting neighborhood communities, such as Manzanares and La Palomera, through a public space that seeks to generate a feeling of attachment to nature in relation to Manzanares River, and equipment to promote recreational, educational, and productive activities that also provides pedestrian connection. On the other hand, a second kind of corridor will be implemented to create a border that contains growth in which different related to nature activities will be held, allowing its use and preservation. These spaces will be provided with stewards, some local, like the Simón Bolívar University, and some proposed by us, like cultural or education centers, so communities can use them correctly and help to keep invaders far away. And finally, in the third stage, considering the fast and uncontrolled growth in contrast with the slow response to provide services, in addition to the tendency of expansion in risky areas. We have contemplated intervention areas to improve hybrid expansion with a balance between residential, commercial, and recreational spaces that will work along with some low-risk areas where urban expansion can take place, but all of these oriented to a harmonic coexistence with nature and protected by custodies related to people such as community centers. In the huge sector of La Limonera, we saw the opportunity to densify because it is already equipped with roads and basic services, providing a perfect stage for hybrid urban expansion. Every urban network needs convergence points in order to link the different components so they can work as a system. So in this sector, we have identified the opportunity to generate a new centrality for Baruta. This strategic place could establish new public spaces to integrate Picapiedras, Ojo de Agua, La Limonera, and El Placer villages through different public spaces where cultural and commercial activities take place. All of this in harmony with nature. The proposed new centrality is composed by 4 interconnected spaces. There is a strong presence of water streams that seems to be unnoticed by the neighboring inhabitants, and a lack of recreational spaces. On the other hand, there is a strong presence of the main road that hinders pedestrian relations between communities, splitting them apart. We found here some disused areas that we could take advantage of to establish physical connection and community integration between Ojo de Agua, Picapiedras, and a vertical relation with La Limonera. This sector represents a strategic zone to integrate and promote interaction between communities by multi-purpose spaces where exchange can be held. So, we propose the implementation of new sport files where an old one took place, along with recreational spaces related to water streams and green areas. In addition, sidewalks and elevated walkways will be implemented to allow crossing the street safely and comfortably, improving pedestrian connectivity. On the other hand, the sector could work as a joint to connect the station of the funicular that comes from La Trinidad and the elevator station, procuring a continuous mobility system. This area has access to the main vehicular routes and is a heavily trafficked zone, but lacks of pedestrian sidewalks. It is also surrounded by villages, both formal and informal, and has a height difference of more than 70 meters. This sector seems to be an opportunity to link the lower areas of Los Picapiedras with the higher areas of La Limonera in a transversal way, allowing to decrease the traffic in the zone. We also identified potential areas that can be developed and turned into public spaces for the community and also provide protection for the steep slopes. The proposal contemplates the establishment of inclined urban elevators in order to connect Los Picapiedras with La Limonera. The presence of this new transportation system is also a driver for the creation of a new public space with recreational and commercial equipment around the elevators station. This seeks to generate new attraction centers for the area, in harmony with the surrounding nature and in order to prevent occupation of the steep sloped areas. Linear parks are proposed in Los Picapiedras and La Limonera. In this place, we've detected the strong presence of water streams, the preexistence of a flower shop with its garden, and a close relation with Barrio El Progreso and Montecristo, as well as the Jesus Garmendia Park. The zone has the opportunity to integrate El Placer, El Progreso, and Montecristo and a chance to generate related to nature activities. This area could work as an articulator to integrate the different pre-existing areas such as the park and the garden with the community. The proposal is to generate a community center that works as the final point of Sarteneja's corridor, so it seeks to be a strong attractor which produces spaces where all the inhabitants can congregate and do different activities, having as goal communities gathering. The proposal contemplates a community garden where people can practice agricultural activities and also will hold a marketplace where they can sell products. Also, there will be a station of funicular that crosses Sarteneja's corridor from one end to other, allowing people to enjoy nature during the ride. This area is characterized by the presence of different villages, both formal and informal, with no connection between them. There is also a node in which the Monterrey and Baruta, El Placer highways converge, but as in the rest of the sidewall infrastructure is poor. We've detected in this place the remnant spaces and disconnected private areas with the potential of becoming new attractors and connection spaces for the site. Also, the presence of the Fe y Alegría Monterrey School can be seen as potential steward or custody for future new spaces. For this place, the proposal consists in public recreational spaces, a community garden and cultural center. These places are meant to become new nodes for social integration in the zone and also seek to complement the formative activities of the Fe y Alegría school in order to improve connectivity between the different villages. Inclined elevators are proposed in this area as well. Although actual crisis and abrupt topography hinders urban development, Baruta still offers a lot of opportunities. Beautiful landscapes and resilient people who are willing to keep going are strong drivers to improve it. Here lies the importance of linking Baruta, offering the so needed spaces where community exchange is produced, while nature is preserved.